Well, chocolatiers. Hope that you guys all had a happy Thanksgiving. I was supposed to get this review out Tuesday night, and then Wednesday I was like, I can do it today. And I just never did it. And then Thursday was Thanksgiving, and then Friday I was like, that's the hangover from Thanksgiving. And I'm a big old boy, so it was definitely a real hangover. I was like, I'll get to it. Okay, so we're here reviewing Moana Dos. Okay, and in Moana 2, just giving some preface, I've heard a lot of negativity. Okay. And that is mainly because this show, I believe 2 years ago or so, was supposed to be a TV show. They were going to make a Moana TV show, kind of like what they did with like Big Hero 6. And they were going to just take most of the characters, make a TV show out of it, kind of do some stuff. I don't know if The Rock was coming back this and that, probably, because it was going to be on Disney Plus. And they were going to kind of go from there and tell a story. And then eventually they might make a Moana 2. But if they did, it was going to be something else. And so halfway down the road, they're kind of like, man, this is like really fucking good. And we could make millions of dollars. Fuck a Disney Plus. And so they put it on here, out in theaters. And they're like, cool. And they pretty much explicitly told everybody, but I love how nobody listened to these interviews or even cared before they made their reviews. They pretty much were like, yeah, we didn't just like compile like 8 episodes, for example, that were 30 minutes apiece, and just edit it and tweak this and that and just make it a movie. Like, no, this on the writing, like I took it that the way, like when they were writing it, when they started concept, they're like, let's change this to a movie, right? Like they should have. And they went from there. So this was never like, oh my god, they just took the episodes and put them together. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like they took, for example, the 8 episodes of The Penguin, compiled it in the 3 hours or something, and then was like, okay, we're going to put that in theaters. They didn't do that, okay? This was initially supposed to be a TV show. And so with that, like I said, I've seen most reviews, people keep saying, yeah, you can tell it's like episode of the week. And I'm like, where? I don't see that. Like, there's some goofy stuff in the snap, but I was like, I don't really see like where this would have ended the episode or done. I don't know. And that might have just been me. I was hyped, it's Thanksgiving week. Exams are next week. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. And, Thanksgiving, like I said, was like literally 2 days later. And it could have just been that. I'll admit that. There is some, not bias going into it, but there's definitely some things that might have kept me from noticing that. But I didn't. I feel like. And so this movie kind of takes place almost right after the events of Moana 1. You can tell it's been some years, I guess you would say, maybe like a year or so. And Moana is looking for more people because, they're secluded to their island. She's like, let's go out there and like find these people. And so you learn and find out that there is this island that used to bridge the gaps between like 7 or 8 different continents, countries, islands, whatever the hell. And this ancient evil god, I can't remember his name, he's actually not that really good of a villain. He pretty much destroys the island, pushes it deep down in the water where nobody can use it, this and that. And he has these thunderstorms raining above it to kill or stop any kind of human that comes by and tries to touch the island. Because if you touch the island, it raises the island. And once again, everybody's all good. Or it doesn't raise the island, but everybody's all good, right? And it's nice because the whole theme is about connection, kind of like Death Stranding. It's very much like that plot. It's about connecting with people and going out there and, braving those waters. And I was like, man, this is pretty good. And now, got a few complaints. So, I don't know whose decision it was. I kind of get that they didn't want to do a Moana and Maui story again. I kind of get that. And so Maui's like barely in it. Like he shows up in the beginning, and then he's pretty big in the end. But I just feel like he wasn't as big of a presence. Like even like his song he sings is nowhere near as good as the first one. And that's kind of like the thing I've noticed with this film. It's almost like a half-baked sequel. Even though I enjoyed it, it's like the songs aren't as good. Like Moana sings a song that's pretty good. I think that's like the 10 out of 10 song. But the other songs are kind of like 6s and 7s. They're good. You can kind of nod, but like I'm not remembering none of the fucking lyrics. Instead of like where we are from like the first one. It's like I was like, yeah, getting that shit. It's not like that. Okay. But I will say this though, the animation looks really good. I thought that was going to be kind of some problems. I looked at some clips from Moana 1. I think Moana 1 does look a little bit better just from looking at older clips. But once again, I'm like, it's not throwing me off as long as it don't like 360p or some shit. I don't really care. So it looks pretty good. And I would say one of my main complaints, and also a complaint, is that I'm glad that they didn't focus just only on Maui and Moana. They gave Moana more characters. She has a crew. But that kind of goes into my complaint, though. I really don't like anybody on this crew except for like the old man. There's an old man that goes with them. He's like a farmer, so he's like helping out with their food, trying to like make sure that they, I guess, ration out whatever this and that. They don't really spend a whole lot of time showing stuff like that, but that's kind of like what he's going for. And he is funny as hell. But like the other two characters just like really kind of get on your nerves. And I guess it's supposed to be kind of like, oh man, look, they're quirky, funny. No, they were getting on my fucking nerves. And the whole time I was like, just push some fuckers overboard, please. But yeah, outside of that, though, this is pretty much the same kind of thing that you expected. We were lied to about the villain, by the way. So there's this bat lady in the film. I remember seeing, I think it was a disgusting film, somebody like a year or so ago. You know, she was pretty much the villain of the film. I don't know if that was changed or whatever, but she's really not the villain of the film. You think that, but she's really not. The main villain, I can't remember his name. Like I said, it's the Thunderstorm dude or whatever, the guy that's evil and this and that. And he really doesn't do much. He's very boring. He's very like MCU-ish. And I would more say old school MCU. That's not a hate on the MCU, but it's kind of like Ronan the Accuser. It's like he's there. Don't really care though. Like, you know, he's like that fucking evil elf from Thor 2. It's like, okay, you're cool, I guess. It's like, you know, you don't do nothing, right? But yeah, I would just say outside of a weak villain, some weaker songs, so like that, you're still getting a decent plot. I actually really enjoy what they do with that. There is an end credit scene. Something else I saw people hated, and I said, it's a fucking kids movie. Quit bitching, okay? Stop, right? I took my little sister to, she was fucking vibing. I was like, hey, I'm vibing too, right? You know, I can admit as a reviewer, like I said, it's nowhere near as good as the first one. And I would say if the first one's a 10, this one's about like a 7. It's pretty good, but it's not like great. It's not hitting those 8 heights at all. And like I said, I feel like that's because of a character thing. Instead of focusing on our characters from the first one, like Maui, like being a more of a focus, or, you know, because even like that, when they do give him the focus point and they do some stuff towards the end, it's like, oh man, this is cool what they're doing. What's going on here? And then like, I'm no dead ass. 2 minutes, it's like, oh, we fixed it. It reminded me like an episode of The Flash, like whenever like a finale had happened, it's like, damn, Barry's changed the timeline. Then like episode 1 of the new season, they're like, run faster, Barry, you can fix this. He said, okay. And within like the first 5 minutes, we fixed the timeline. And I'm like, I thought the whole new season's gonna be about this. So like, I was really thinking that the next movie is gonna go into this, that, or it will be like maybe another 20 minutes or something like that, us dealing with some shit that happens. But no, it's just fixed really, really quickly. But yeah, with that, please like, subscribe for more, and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on Moana 2. And I hope you guys, like I said, once again, have a happy Thanksgiving, or had one, I should say, because this video did not come out before. And with that, like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Together again.
I know what I have to do. Maui, I could really use your help.
I love my popcorn. Movies, popcorn.